What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. Yeah, excuse me. I'm just bummed out here at the crib. Got busted lip, got punched in the mouth. Actually, I found out this is not a topic, but I'm just gonna say it. Them guys I be sparring with, man, these guys are like regional champions. I didn't even realize it, and I've gotten significantly better. But I don't have anybody to record my videos. You should really see me putting in work now. And I didn't even realize these guys are like regional champion boxers and whatnot. So, at 44, I just turned 44. I'm just turning 44. I kind of feel good. Anyway, actually, this kind of ties into the topic, and it's about male behavior. And I've come to realize that male behavior, man, it's like, it's not so, what's the word? It's not so obvious. I don't know how else to word it. Dudes act like women. I've come to realize, like, you start disagreeing with guys or you're critical of them, and they start turning to like female tactics, trying to shut down conversations. They start trying to like toss insults to try and make you emotional and angry and whatnot, so that you lose your focus, type derailing the conversation from the topic. These are all feminine tactics, trying to just we don't want to hear that, so we're not going to discuss it. Oh, who does that other than a woman? Men don't do this type of stuff. And I'm not even going into that whole feminist female or real man, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just not what we do. Men, we attempt to dominate the conversation or situation either by force of arms, force of hands, or by force of logic and reason, right? But we don't turn to emotional triggers out, unless it's part of the game in order to throw the guy off his game, but we stick to the topic. We don't just go off the reservation and go rogue like Bill Burr said and start like trying to toss in insults and whatnot. If someone tosses in an insult or an offense, it's in relation to the topic. You see what I mean? We don't just like blah blah blah. I was having a conversation with this guy in one of these groups that I administrate, and it was real talk. He was being like, he was showing beta attributes, and part of the conversation I just said, hey man, you're showing beta attributes right now. This is a beta attribute that you're doing right now, because he's trying to shut down conversation, say we can't discuss certain things. It's inappropriate for this group, a group he didn't even create. So how can he decide what's inappropriate for it? This is like what women do. Women have never been a man, but then they always like to try and tell men what real men are. How do you know what's appropriate for the group if you didn't make the group, if you didn't set the ground rules or the basis of what the group is all about? You see what I mean? Do you see how this is like just anyway? So instead of turning to logic and reason, like saying, hey, this is the purpose, this is the reason why I take this particular stance, and then it defends it even vehemently, even if it's unreasonable. Just defend it and just say, hey, you know what? I don't have anything other than that was a cultural, this is a cultural or ethical or value I was raised with. It doesn't have to make sense. This is just what it is. I have a proclivity towards this, and there's nothing else I got to say about it. I'm always going to be on this. It is what it is. I got stuff like that, and sometimes it's indefensible. That's just part of who we are as human beings. Sometimes we're just these big, great, big walking contradictions. you know we know better, but we don't do better. But what we don't do as men, and this is universal, we just don't start turning to like hominin. How do you say that? Just these generalized insults and attacks to try and make people like upset and whatnot, and you just like start throwing out these goofy attacks like girls do, you know. Oh, you're winky small or some crazy stuff. It's just not stuff we do. And I got very little patience for men who behave like that. I'm like, if you want to go on that stuff, I'm like, straight up, let's put some gloves on, let's go in the ring, let's duke it out. Because if you want to like come at me like that, that means you want to challenge me as a man. This is what we do when we want to challenge each other as men. Women know you're not going to punch them out in general. That's why they throw insults around like that, because they know you're not going to knock their teeth out. Dudes, we don't have that luxury. So any man who's acting like that, who's throwing out these insults and whatever else, that's acting like a woman. That's saying you want to fight. But they don't want to fight. And this is why I'm saying he's acting like a woman. He doesn't want to fight because he thinks in his world, wherever he comes from, that you won't come out and smack him in the teeth. This is a female ideology. Guys don't act like that. You should know better. Let me say, if you're a man, you need to know how to talk to men. Talking to men is not the same as talking to women. We talk to each other with a considerable degree of respect, with the understanding that, this guy here across from me, he might be able to hurt me. He might actually hurt me. He might just not like the look on my face and he wants to punch me in the head. as men, we should understand how to discuss and have a conversation with one another. And if you can't do that, then keep your mouth shut before someone shuts it for you. Anyway, this is just like a little rant, man. This dude irritated me, and I really wanted to punch him in his head. If he'd been on the same continent as me, I'd be like, look, man, let's meet up. We're going to go to the gym, and we're going to fight this out. And I'm straight up out of taking a train, bus, plane, car, whatever. Not plane, maybe, in the same country, to where he was, and whoop the crap out of him. Straight up, no joke. You just don't act like that. Who are you talking to? And I'm not bragging. I'm not blowing my own horn, but I can do jiu-jitsu. I can do Muay Thai, and I'm picking up boxing. I can fight. But I don't talk to dudes that I'm pretty sure I could whip. I don't talk to them just however. It's respect. Maybe that guy will get mad one day and just remember that for the rest of his life. He can wreck my life. He can shoot me. He can stab me in the back. I don't know. I don't care. It's not a matter of fear. It's just a matter of respect for an individual man. Because I don't expect that type of behavior out of a man. And I don't portray that behavior as a man. Oh, I don't like what you said about me or the way I do a particular work or some particular ideology I have. And therefore, I start turning these like attacks and insults on you like some kid, or some lame, angry woman who wants to define what male masculinity is or isn't. It's just not. Anyway, if you do that type of stuff as a man, you got issues, man. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, because one day someone's gonna check you, and when it happens, well, as a man, if it happens to you as a man, you're not gonna be surprised. You're gonna know why the dude hit you in the teeth, and you're gonna have deserved it for being such a prick, for acting like a woman, because you don't get the deference of a woman. We have completely different lives, and ladies, stop saying a real man this, a real man that. You don't know what being a man is about. You ain't spent one day in the shoes of a man. Not one. You'd gladly hop the fence back over to the female side if you did. Dudes, stop acting like women. You're not one, and you will get kicked in the winky if you act like one. Stop. It's your man Abuamerican. Just some general advice on a rant. Catch my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook all at Abuamerican. I'm out.